So, hey guys, this is my StickTrickDominoDude contest entry where he asked us to criticize him. In honor of his Domino Critic episodes, his contest is to do the same sort of thing he does to him. So I'm going to be doing that today. Now this is not going to be a normal video. I've talked to the camera before, but I've never done it quite the same way because today I'm going to be doing it freestyle. So you can end up I'm probably going to end up with a lot of weird things I'm going to end up saying just by accident that I would usually edit out. Kind of like this, where I just forget what I'm going to say. Moving on. So yeah, that being said, I hope this is actually helpful, and I hope it's a good contest entry too, because I have a couple things I'd like to say that are actually good criticism, but other things that, I don't know, maybe not so much helpful. See, there you go, there's an example of something weird I'll say. Not so much helpful. So that's what you're going to get today. So, the first thing I want to do, I know you said this doesn't count for much, but I do want to praise you for a couple of things that I really appreciate about what you do. The first is that you're current. You keep up with videos. If you are subscribed to a channel, you watch all those videos that you're subscribed to, and you even leave a comment on literally every video. So there hasn't been a single video that I've uploaded that you haven't commented on, and you also never leave the same comment. It's always something original, something unique that's specially tailored to whatever was in that video. And I really enjoy that. I really enjoy reading your comments on all the videos, especially mine, but I do appreciate that you take the time to do that. That's really great. Again, I know praise doesn't really count for much, but I figured a little praise couldn't hurt, right? I also want to take this opportunity to congratulate you on your enormous success of Doctor Who and Dominoes. That was such a big video. It's just the difference in views between that one and your other videos is just humongous. But it's gained you a whole lot of fame, a whole lot of subscribers, and I couldn't be happier for you for that. So yeah, I also want to tell you a little bit about how this is going to work. What's going to happen is I'm going to mention something that I'm going to criticize, and then I'm going to show an example of it so you can see exactly what I'm talking about, and then we'll come back to the table here and we'll kind of go into detail about it. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the fact that you use a lot of short domino lines that connect elements in a Rube Goldberg machine. Here are some examples. Now, one thing I've realized from my experiences working with dominoes, especially in my 100 subscriber screen link, gosh, I'll never do that again, but I've noticed they're really annoying to reset. I don't know whether you're running into the same problem or whether it bothers you at all, but I definitely try to avoid using them in my own machines because every time the machine fails, I of course have to go back and reset them. I've mentioned this before, but an easy solution for this is to simply use pivot tracks. They're easy to reset, they're always predictable, and they seem to fit more of the Rube Goldberg vibe, I guess, rather than mixing dominoes and Rube Goldbergs together. The other thing I notice is that you're using them when they don't even need to be used in most cases. I mean, I'm assuming you have enough materials to just make a simple, connects path with some Hot Wheels track or something, or even a marble track, which is what I would do. So I feel like it's kind of being used as a crutch to simply just get to one place to another. I don't mean to be too harsh, but I do notice that kind of thing. But I do notice, and I want to say this is good, it is a straight line that I see you're using. It's a straight line, no techniques, so it's not distracting from the actual machine itself, so good job with that. But yeah, just simply substitute it with either pivot tracks or something else. Again, not really a big deal, but something that kind of gets on my nerves. Just when I'm building. It doesn't annoy me all that much when I'm watching it, but something I notice, something that you might want to think about changing. Alright, on to the next criticism. Yeah, I just watched back that previous video that I made about the getting rid of short domino lines. I realized, yeah, this job is hard. You are amazing at this, because it's a constant battle with me of saying, is this too harsh? Wow, you do a great job with this. I'm not sure how well I'm doing, or whether I'm being too mean to you. I'm sorry if I am. Just getting that out there. Alright, moving on to number 2, I guess. This is the second criticism I have. Try to do more themed machines. Now, I think the last one you did was a Christmas machine, which was okay, because the final, the goal, I guess, was to jingle a bell, the bells, right, off the table. It was Christmas themed simply at the end, but it wasn't exactly Christmas themed throughout the entire thing. I mean, there was a roll of wrapping paper, but I think that was about it. If you're like any American in the world, you decorate your house for Christmas, and this is just an example. I mean, obviously you wouldn't want to put Christmas decorations around every Rube Goldberg, but just as an example for that, I also did a Christmas machine, and I just took decorations from around my house and put them inside the machine. So that's something that you could think about, and also, yeah, try to do more themed machines. Like, instead of just having a goal that meant that accomplishes something that's themed, try to have the entire machine have something to do with that theme, whether it's simply decorating the machine or actually incorporating elements that have to do with that theme, which is obviously a lot harder. But I think almost all of my previous machines, like recently, have had some sort of theme. There was a Super Bowl, and then there was a Christmas one, and then there was, well, I guess the camera, the 12, number 12 didn't really have a theme, but I think 10 was Return to the NFL. So yeah, I do a lot of these. Just try to get more themed machines, and obviously you can choose whatever themes you want, whether it's, you know, current world events or TV shows you like. Obviously Doctor Who and Dominoes, that doesn't count. That was definitely a themed machine, and I enjoyed that, but I'm saying more of that kind of stuff. It's great. I really enjoyed that video. But I don't know, holidays, current world events, yeah, TV shows you like, holidays, I think I said that. I don't know, I'm losing track. But yeah, more themed machines would be nice. I feel like I'm really rambling on about all these things, just saying stuff you can already figure out, but yeah, I'm hoping I'm not too bad at this. Alright, moving on to number 3. 3. Better thumbnails. The thumbnails of the videos seem like they were just randomly assigned by YouTube, and believe me, I know exactly what that is like before the time when I was able to do custom thumbnails, because for some reason I thought that verifying your account was harder than it actually was. And I don't know whether you have this or not, have the capability of doing this or not. If so, I mean, I think it would have been a little bit more obvious, but I just get your channel verified, because then you can do this, and it really, really frees up the world of possibilities for custom thumbnails, because there are a couple that I think you might have just gotten lucky with, like number 7, Rube Goldberg 7, you had the slip of paper as the thumbnail. That was a really lucky break. But that way, what I find is useful, and you can obviously look at my thumbnails to see how I do this, but when it's a machine, what I do is I obviously build the machine, and then once I get it to work, I then reset it and then take a picture of it, because that way I know I'm not going to make any more changes, and I can do it that way. And I know I'm going to get a lot of criticism for this myself, but I then put that picture that I just took of the reset machine, and I put it into Microsoft Word, right? And that way I can add other pictures on top of it. Like for my recent one, I had the Patriots logo and the Seahawks logo and the Super Bowl logo, and I just put those on top of it. Obviously in places, you know, that weren't taken up by the machine itself. So that's how I make my thumbnails, and I've done that a lot. But once you can do that, it really, really opens up the world of possibilities, and it gives you a whole new universe of things that you can do to lure people in and make them want to watch your video. So that's something that's really helped me, and it's something that I really enjoy doing. The only exception is Domino Critic, because I know the thumbnails for that, they're actually great. Although what I would suggest is, you know, just your face, basically, because that's what it is anyway, but maybe just have the number episode, like episode 10 or whatever, episode 13 or episode 90, I don't know, 90? Wow, setting the bar a little high there. But anyway, and then just kind of have the logo of the channel you're criticizing that day, and maybe that will kind of help. I've noticed a big increase in how professional my videos look just since I've added custom thumbnails, rather than just using the ones that YouTube automatically assigns. So yeah, there's that. Just get your channel verified. It's really easy. You'll see. It literally just asks you to type in some numbers, and then you're verified. It just makes sure you're not a robot. So then you can do that. Along with a bunch of other things too. I think it opens up the you can link to external sites and stuff too. So that's interesting. Alright, but that's enough of that. Let's go on to the next criticism. Now, this is actually the last criticism, but I saved the best for last, and this is one of my pet peeves, actually. I noticed you try to edit out your fails. And I know you're not doing this because you think, oh, they're not going to notice, or oh, you know, they're not smart enough to figure it out or something. But, I mean, I know you're not doing that. I can just tell by the way you act in Domino Critic, you're not that kind of guy. But I will say it kind of may come across as kind of being like that in some instances where you cut it really close to almost make it look like there's no fail. I've said this before in a couple comments, I don't think ever on your videos, but when the machine fails, I mean, obviously, if you can, try to reset it, but that's not obviously practical when you're doing domino setups and stuff. But if not, there are a couple different techniques you can use. One would be to simply switch the camera angle and reset just a little bit before, because, I mean, even if we realize that it failed, it's not as big of a deal to me because I can still kind of see it together, and it doesn't look quite as weird when it's just like chopped off and it looks like you tried to close the gap between the footage where you set off the machine again. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but just kind of remove the camera to a different angle, and then that way, and just like reset up a little bit before that fail, then knock that over, and then, yeah, it's kind of confusing to explain, but I think you know what I mean. The other solution is to simply knock it over, like knock it over from where it failed. Show the footage of you going over to where it failed and knocking it over, because that's always, always, always better than trying to fool us by trying to edit it out. And I know you're not trying to fool us per se, but that's kind of what it comes across as in some instances. But I'm just saying, I don't know, just try to not do that as much, or maybe don't cut it as close to make it look like that. I know you're trying to do it just to save space and not show us reset, or show you knocking it over again, because that might be kind of boring, and I get it, but don't cut it so close, or try to do it a different way by setting it up in a different angle. One more thing, I hope I was not too harsh on you. If I was, I'm sorry. I just couldn't think of better words or a better way to put it than the way I did. I really appreciate all your videos. They're really great, and I've noticed a significant increase in quality since Domino Critic began, because now you're actually paying attention to what makes a good video, especially the kind that you make and that we all make here on YouTube in the Rube Goldberg community. You are an integral part of what makes this great. You're just a great channel to have around. I just feel like you've been there for everyone. You've been there when they're growing, and you've been there for me since the beginning, so you're special to me especially. And I still hope you continue to post videos and continue to make high quality content just like you're doing, and I hope these tips help, but I hope I'm not too harsh, and if I am, sorry, I did not mean it to be. Don't take it personally. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the freestyle kind of I don't know, freestyle freestyle style, the style that I'm using of freestyle. This is why I don't do this freestyle. It's not a good idea. Yeah, okay, I did it freestyle. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed the tips. Bye.